we shall start our session for today. Alright? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning to all. Alright. So I'm Zahira. So how's everyone today? Hope all of you are doing great at home. Okay. I bet all of you must have missed your students very much, right? Okay. And you miss your school, right? Okay. So hope everyone is in good health. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining today. Okay, we have with us today Puan Hajah Hanisa, Ketua Penolong Pengarah Kanan Bahasa Jabatan Pembelajaran Selangor, and also two PPD officers. Okay, so welcome everyone. And not forgetting, we also have our special speaker today, Ms. Noraini binti Mat Said. Okay, and hope everyone is ready to start with today's session. So before we start, let me tell you the objective of the session for today. So we hope at the end of the session, okay, participants will be able to use the approaches given in teaching formatted writing. So before I pass this to our presenter for today, let me read to you the background of our presenter. Okay, Noraini binti Mat Said. Okay, she has been teaching for 16 years, all right, and is currently teaching in SK Sri Kundang, okay, Gombak. And she's a guru, guru cemerlang bahasa Inggris, and she's actively involved in giving talks on writing techniques for students since 2009. And she's also one of the panel of writers for GEMS modules, Selangor, all right, and also an author for UPSR workbooks, including the set Soalan Sebenar 2016 till 2019. So without further ado, I would like to call Puan Noraini, okay, Miss Noraini, to continue with today's session. All right. Welcome,
Okay,
Puan
thank
Noraini.
you, Zahira. Okay, thank you, Ms. Zahira. And good morning, a very good morning to all the teachers here. Okay, thank you for coming to our session. Okay, hopefully I can give my best for our session today. All right, so our target for today is for the formatted writing. All right. So by the way, okay, I'm going to give 4 tips. Four formatted writing. Okay, I'm focusing on the formatted writing which haven't come out in the UPSR yet. Okay, the first one is the speech, and the second formatted writing is the informal letter. The third one is the formal letter, and also the last one is notice. Okay, I know that everyone is muting your speaker, but if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me any question. Okay, so we'll go to our first format, is a speech. Okay, so normally when I teach my pupils about speech, I will give them or explain to them what is the purpose of delivering a speech. Okay, so the first reason why we are delivering speech is because we want to inform the audience about an important topic. Okay, the other reason is because we want to persuade the public to do something, and also to instruct and to entertain the audience as well. Okay, so I would like to refer to my question and out. All right. So I'm using this question for this speech. I think some of you are quite familiar with this question, because by right, I always use the trial from other states as my sample of questions. Okay, so tips. Okay, mentioned here, always keep your gate front and back doors locked. Okay, keep your windows locked when you are not at home or at night. Do not open door to strangers. So based on this, I'm going to show you how we can answer the question of speech. Okay, so this is a question given. Okay, imagine you are a police officer. Okay, write a speech about home safety tips during a school assembly. So in this question, the role of the people is to be a police officer, and they have to write a speech in the school assembly. Okay, for your information, okay, since this is our sharing session, I have come up with a formula for my peoples on how they can memorize, how they can conquer the question for speech. Okay, so the formula is sit 3 hours tired. Okay, so this is the formula that they use in the class. Sit 3 hours tired. Okay, what does a sit 3 hours tired means? Okay, so the word S stands for the salutation. So of course, our speech will always start with the salutation. For example, good morning to the teachers and friends. Okay, then followed with the I. I stands for introduce yourself. So this is where the students have to introduce themselves, and the word T stands for title of their speech. And I used to teach my peoples that normally the section B question, they will write it in the form of 3 paragraphs. So same goes with this speech. So they are going to have 3 paragraphs for their speech, where the first paragraph they will have the SIT, which are the salutation, introduce themselves, and also the title of their speech. And the second paragraph, they will have the 3 points plus 2 supporting details. Okay, for your information, I keep telling them that normally for section B question, we always apply the 3 plus 2 formula. What does the 3 plus 2 means? Okay, the 3 means the points, which means what are the information that we take from the question. Okay, then the 2 supporting details is the reason that they have to add in order to support their their points that they have taken from the questions. So they will have this 3 plus 2 in their second paragraph for their speech. Okay, then the last paragraph, which is the third paragraph, the word hours is actually the H. Okay, the H stands for hope. Okay, hope. So of course there will be a hope in the last paragraph. Then the tired, actually the letter T stands for the thank you. Okay, so they will end your speech with thank you. So actually I have formulated this formula so that they can easily memorize how to answer the question of speech. So let us look at how we can apply this sit 3 hours tired in this question. So of course, this is the beginning of the speech. We start with the salutation. So since the situation given in the question, the peoples are giving a speech in the school assembly. So of course, the audience will be teachers and pupils. Okay, I keep reminding them that don't always don't always think that your audience will be teachers and pupils. Please refer to the question carefully. It is not compulsory to be in the school who are their audience. Okay, it can be good morning and gentlemen, depends on the audience of in the question. Okay, so after the as salutation, remember our formula, so followed with the I, which is the introduction of themselves. So for example, my name is Jamie and I am a police officer. So I'm stating the position given in the question in earlier. Okay. Then followed with the T. Remember SIT? So the T is the title. So the title of my speech today is Home Safety Tips. Okay, Home Safety Tips. So this is the first thing that they will have in the speech. So followed with the second paragraph. The second paragraph is the 3 plus 2 formula. So you can see how I am applying the 3 plus 2 formula in this question. So I'm taking the first information from the question. Firstly, do not open door to strangers. Okay, because just now the question mentioned one of the tips is do not open door to strangers. So I'm just strictly taking that information into my first point. Then followed with this is dangerous because you might be kidnapped. Okay, the reason why I am writing this sentence in red color is because I want to highlight that this is the supporting details, means it is not included in this question. This point I purposely put it in because I want to support the points earlier about do not open door to strangers, so it is a dangerous action. Okay, then followed with my second point, always keep your windows locked when you are not at home or at night for your safety. Okay, this is our second point taken from the question, meaning this tip is given in the question. Okay, so far I've already got 2 points plus 1 supporting details. Okay, then I'm putting the last point, which is finally, all of you should know your parents' phone numbers. Okay, so this is also taken from the tips given in the question earlier. Then I end my second paragraph. It is useful during emergency. So again, this is red in color, means this is the supporting details, meaning this sentence is the reason I want to support the sentence saying that you should know your parents' phone numbers. Okay, so up to now we have already got the 3 plus 2 formula, which is 3 supporting the 3 information and plus 2 supporting details. So now we are going to do the third paragraph for this speech, which is hope. Remember, sit 3 hours tired. So hours H stands for hope. So I hope all of you will take care of yourself. So normally I teach them the hope is depending on what is the topic all about. So since this topic is about tips of how to take care of yourself, so I'll just put here, I hope all of you will take care of yourselves. Then the word tired, T stands for thank you. So I end my speech with thank you. All right. It may look very simple and very short, but actually, if you count it, actually it has reached 80 number of words. So we always keep reminding our peoples, don't write more than 80 words because it is stated in the instruction saying that you have to write between 60 to 80 words. So it might look short, but actually by right, it has reached the 80 words. Okay, so any questions so far for the?
I think there's one question.
Yeah.
Okay, here. There's a teacher asking, when marking this section, if a student writes perfectly but have no original ideas, only take details from given stimulus, can he or she get
Uh-huh.
full marks?
I don't think so, because this is where the difference between the excellent students and the medium students, I think.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah. That's why I keep telling my peoples that in order to be an excellent student, you have to give more effort. Okay? Is that clear, teacher? Okay. So without further ado, let us look at the second format for our session today. Okay, so it is an informal letter. So as we know, that informal letter also hasn't come out in the UPSR yet. So that's why I'm focusing more on the format that haven't come out in the UPSR. Okay, so this is the example of the question. It is about the matches. Okay, badminton match, basketball tournament, football match, and also the hockey match. So let's look at what is the question all about. Okay, you would like one of your friends to join you to watch one of the games. You write a letter to inform your friend of the activity. You may include details such as time, place, equipment, or any other useful information. Okay, so actually, normally when I teach in my class, I keep reminding my people, actually, it is compulsory in my class, where right after they have read the instruction, I keep telling them, please circle what is the format requested by the question. So, of course, in the class, normally they will circle the word letter here to remind themselves that they are writing a letter, because in exam anything can happen. They can be confused, they can be nervous. Okay, and no, it's no surprise, because if the question give the instruction saying a letter, we still find some people will answer the question in the form of postcard or message or whatever. Okay, so that's why I keep telling them it is a compulsory for you to circle the word letter to remind yourself that you are writing a letter. And also, right after they circle the word letter, they will underline what is the reason they are writing this letter. So in this question, the reason they are writing this letter is because to inform their friend of the activity. Okay, all right. So we have to tell our people, remind them that informal letter is meant for family, friends, and also relatives. So uh, informal letter is totally different from the formal letter, which is for official use. Okay, so basically this is the format. Okay, um, since this is our sharing session, I keep telling my people, please remember, guys, that when you are writing an informal letter, please remember your right hand. I keep telling them, informal letter is on your right hand, and formal letter is on the left hand. What do I mean by right hand? The right hand means the address, the date, and also the regards will be on my right hand side. So they keep, I keep reminding them that, saying that, please remember your right hand. So of course the format will start with the address, date, opening, and again, I keep telling them that, please remember, guys, you are writing the section B in the form of 3 paragraphs. So what will be in the first paragraph? There will be the opening and also the reason of writing. And that is why I instruct them to underline the reason of writing, because they are going to use that idea in their first paragraph. Okay, then the paragraph 2, again, we apply the 3 plus 2 formula, which is 3 information from the question plus 2 supporting details. And the last paragraph will be the hope and also closure. Okay, then end with the regards and their short name. For your information, I always encourage them not to put their signature. I always ask them, just write your short name will do. Don't put any signature, because I'm afraid in the form of email, for example. Of course, we we can't accept if the people's put a signature in the email. So I want to make sure that they write the short name. Okay. So let's look at how we are going to tackle this question. Okay, just now again, okay, the format. Okay, the first thing we will have the address, then followed with the date. So today's date is 13 May 2020. Then also the opening, for example, Dear Hannah. Of course, we do know that for opening, it's not only dear. We can say hi Hannah or hello Hannah. But again, I don't encourage them to do that, because I'm scared if for the formal letter they will give the same opening like hello, Madam Hannah, for example. So I don't want them to do that. So I keep reminding them, please stick to dear instead of hello and hi. Then the first paragraph will have the opening sentence, for example, okay, how's life? Okay, then for your information, I'm planning to watch a badminton match this Saturday, so I would like to invite you. So this is the reason why they are writing this letter, okay, because to invite their friend to watch the match. All right, so go to the second paragraph, which is a 3 plus 2. Okay, it is going to be held at the badminton stadium terrace at 8 p.m. All right, so this information is taken from the question just now, because the question mentioned, if you still remember, okay, let me show you the question again. Okay, so this is the question just now. Okay, this is the badminton match. Okay, so it mentioned here the match begins at 8 p.m. Okay, so I'm taking this information into my answer. All right. Okay, so the second paragraph, it is going to be held at Badminton Stadium Cheras at 8 p.m. mentioned in the question. Since the match is between Malaysia and Indonesia, also mentioned in the information just now, I'm sure it's going to be an interesting match. So if you look at this sentence again, it is written in red color to show that it is a sample of supporting details. Okay, I'm giving this reason to support the information saying that the match is between Malaysia and Indonesia. Okay, then the ticket is sold at 32 ringgit per person, also given in the question, but then I add my supporting details here. You don't have to worry, as my father will be paying for us. So if you look at this example, actually it has completed the 3 plus 2 formula, which is the 3 information. The first one is about the venue and the time, and the second between Malaysia and Indonesia, and the third information is about the ticket price. And I'm also giving my two supporting details, okay, to support my information. Then we go to our last paragraph, which is the hope and closure. For example, I hope you will join me. Again, I keep reminding my peoples, please don't use the same hope, because your hope will be depending on what is your reason of writing the letter. For example, if your reason is, for example, is inviting someone, so of course your hope that that person will or will join you. In this case, he is asking his friend to join him. So of course, his hope is his friend will join him. Okay, bye. Then followed with regards. Okay. Then we go to our third format, which is the formal letter. Okay, again, we have to remind our peoples what is the purpose of writing the formal letter. Because we know that whatever we teach in the class, actually the information is for the peoples to apply in the real world. So they have to know, why am I learning the speech? Why am I learning the formal letter? So we have to stress out what is the purpose of studying that particular format. Okay, so what is the purpose of writing the formal letter? Okay, for official purpose, of course. Okay, to school or to the office. So I keep telling them that apart from your family, your friends, your relatives, so it's supposed to be the formal letter. Okay, so let's look at our question hand out. What is the question all about? Okay, so this is the question that I've taken from the trial from Terengganu. Okay, this is a Terengganu trial question. It's about the Ena ice cream factory, trendy chocolate factory, okay, then joyful fruity factory. So basically, this question is going. The peoples have to write a letter to a factory, okay, to a factory, because they are going to do a visit there. Okay, so it's about, okay, the information given here. It has stated, okay, who is the person in charge. For example, the Ena ice cream factory, the contact person is the Madam Shaira Hashim, and she is the manager. Okay, then also the address, okay, the address of the factory, okay, because it is needed to write a formal letter. Okay, so let's look at how we are going to handle this question. Okay, the situation given: you are the secretary of English Society of your school and wish to visit one of the factories. You write a letter to ask permission to visit it. Okay, you may include details such as date, time, and purpose of the trip. So let's look at how we are going to answer this question. So basically, I'm going, of course, to show them the basic format of what is the formal letter all about. Okay, like I said just now, I keep telling them, please remember, for formal letter, remember your left hand. Okay, informal letter on the right hand and formal letter on the left hand. Why is it left hand? Because the address of the sender, the address of the receiver, okay, then also the yours truly are all on our left hand except for the date. Okay, so if you look at the screen, This is the basic format of the formal letter. We will have the address, sender, receiver, then the same line with the last address of the receiver. We will have the date, and also dear sir or madam. Then again, we have to remind our peoples, if the question tells us who is the person in charge. For example, just now the Ena ice cream factory, the person in charge is Madam Shaira. So they will just write dear madam. So if let's say the question does not state any person in charge or person contact person, so we can just put dear sir stroke madam. Okay, then we will have the title, and again 3 paragraph. So paragraph 1, we will have the name and the position of the writer. Okay, then okay, then paragraph 2, we will put in the details such as date, time, or other details related to the question. Finally, we will put hope and closure. And ending with yours truly, the name and also the position of the writer. Okay, let's look at how we're going to answer this question. So the first one, we will have the address of the sender. Okay, so I assume here the people's name is Aina binti Sabri, for example, SK Sri Budi Selangor. Then we will have the address of the receiver. So since the question has given the person in charge and also the address of the ice cream factory, so I'll just put here Madam Shahira Hashim and the factory address. Then we have the date. Okay, then the title. Oh, sorry, the dear madam. Okay, dear madam. Okay, so here we put dear madam without the dear sir stroke madam, because we know that the person is Madam Shaira Hashim. So we put the title, okay, permission to visit Ena Ice Cream Factory. And please remind our peoples that the title has to be very short and precise. It does not have to be lengthy. Okay, very short and precise. Okay, permission to visit Ena Ice Cream Factory. Okay, then we have our first paragraph. As a secretary of English Society of SK Sri Budi. It is mentioned in the question. Okay, comma, Aina binti Sabri, would like to seek your permission to visit the factory. So this is the reason why Aina is writing this letter. And also, we include the purpose of the visit. Okay, the purpose of the visit is to observe the process of ice cream making. Okay, so if you look at this first paragraph, we don't need to have the gap, because for formal letter, we don't need the gap for the first paragraph. Then goes to the second paragraph. Okay, the details of the visit. Okay, then we do have the numbers. For example, 2 dot. Okay, regarding the visit, we are planning to go there on 12 October 2020 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Of course, when we are going to do a visit, the person in charge need to know when, okay, what time, okay, how many person. Okay, besides, we will have 30 peoples and 5 teachers in the trip. We mentioned that about the number of packs. Okay, for your information, we will travel there by bus. Okay, all right. So if you look at this second paragraph, for this formal letter is totally different from the second paragraph in the informal letter, because in informal letter we do apply the 3+2 formula, but not in the formal letter. Formal letter doesn't apply the formula 3+2, because we don't need the supporting details. We just need to put what are the relevant information need to put into the content. Okay, then the third, For example, 3 dot. Then we have hope. I really hope that you will consider our request. Okay, since this is information, of course, we are hoping that that person will consider our request. Then the closure, thank you for your kind attention. Okay. Please don't forget to remind your peoples, because I do have this kind of um, funny answer in my class, where my peoples write goodbye. I keep telling them, please remember that your closure for your informal letter is not the same with the closure in the formal letter, because it has to be a formal. So we don't write goodbye in our formal letter, of course. It has to be in a very proper way. For example, thank you for your kind attention. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay, because if not, the people tend to use the same closure that they do in the informal letter. Okay, then we have the yours truly. For example, the short name is full name followed with the position, Secretary of English Society SK Seri Budi. So this is how I teach my peoples how to answer the formal and also informal letter. Okay, I think you can use the same way of telling them, please remember your formal letter, remember your left hand, and informal letter on your right hand.
Um,
Okay, so the last format
Miss
here,
Noraini,
yeah,
yes. Can I add for formal letter? Okay.
yeah, sure, sure,
It's
miss.
best for you to end with yours sincerely, yours sincerely.
Okay,
Yeah, rather
yeah.
than yours truly, because I think yours truly shows different kind of relationship with the receiver. So
Oh, okay.
it's more formal to use yours sincerely.
All
Uh,
right. Thank you for the information.
alright, okay.
All right. And we can also use your faithfully, right,
Mhm.
Miss Zaira?
Yes, yes.
Ah, all
Alright,
right.
better to use
Okay.
yours sincerely. Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you for the info anyway. Okay. Sorry for my mistake. All right. Then the fourth format that we're going to share today is about writing a notice. I do receive some response from peoples saying that teacher notice is quite difficult compared to others, and they say that I seldom write notice in my class. My teacher seldom teach me about notice, but still it is a format that needs to be taught in the classroom because it is included in our syllabus. Okay, so again we have to remind our pupils what is the purpose of writing the notice, because they're going to apply their knowledge in the real life. Okay, what is the purpose? Okay, to announce information to a specific group of people. Okay, then normally the notice is displayed on boards, okay, in public places such as schools or maybe a residential area. Okay, depends on what is the purpose of the notice. Okay, I normally start my class of teaching notice with a sample of notice. So for example, I took this sample from the Google, of course. This is an example of notice from the National Public School in India. Okay, so this is the after we have the name of the organization, we do have the word notice, then followed with the title. For example, in this example is about the inter-school cultural fiesta. Then we have the date of issue, but I do find that some of the notice, they don't put the date of issue on the body. Then we have the body of the notice, and normally the notice, the body will include the date, time, venue. Okay, those are the important information that the readers need to know. For example, in this notice, it mentioned about the cultural fiesta is going to be held 22nd February. Then what are the events include, for example, the field of music, dance, and dramatics, and also about what are they going to have. The winners will be awarded with attractive prizes, and also they have in this notice it mentioned about what the readers need to do if they want to join this school cultural fiesta. Okay, then the after the body we will have the name of the authorized signatory and also the designation. Okay, so in this case, let us look at our question. Okay, this is also a trial from Terengganu that I've taken. For example, Sekolah Kebangsaan Besut Jaya English Language Club. So this is an example of the form of poster. Then the students have to use the information in the poster to make it into form of notice. Okay, this is about a school holiday camp. Actually, I've changed the date because this is a past year's question. So the benefits and what are the activities going to be held there, and then people who are interested to join the camp must take the forms from the teacher in charge, Wan Tasnim binti Hamid, and also mention here the closing date. Okay, for example, the question, your teacher asks you to inform your school pupils by writing a notice telling about, I think this is wrong question. Sorry. Okay, so that information we're going to do in our notice. Huh? Okay, your teacher asked you to inform your school pupils by writing a notice telling about the school holiday camp. Okay, you may use the information given to help you. All right, so I keep telling my people, don't worry about the notice because actually notice writing is quite simple. Okay, first, why am I saying that it's simple? Because we don't need the supporting details. We just state whatever information given in the question. For example, in this question, the instruction is in the form of a poster. So all the information that they need to put into their notice is given actually. It's just that they have to change the format. That's it. It's just the format wise. So if the students or the pupils remember what is the format of the notice, it will be no problem for them to tackle this question. Okay. So again, we start with our class with the format. We mentioned here that for your notice, we'll start with the name of the organization, and we need to put the word NOTICE, and all the letters are spelled in capital letter. Okay, then followed with the title, what is the event that we want to inform the public. Then we start with the body, and normally body will put the details such as date, time, and also venue, and also other important details that we need the audience or the readers to know. Okay, then our notice will end with the name of the person and what is the position of the person who write the notice. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to answer the question of the notice. Okay, for example, the name of the organization is the name of school, of course. So because the situation in the question mentioned that you want to tell your friends in the school. So SK Kemaman 2, for example. Then the word compulsory to have that. All right, then we have the title. For example, in this case, we are going to talk about the school holiday camp. Then we have the body. Okay, SK Besut Jaya will organize a holiday camp from 1st to 3rd June. So this information is actually given in the question just now. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you that remind your peoples that just now we have the formal letter, and this time notice also doesn't apply the 3+2 formula, because we don't need any supporting details to put into our notice. It doesn't apply the 3+2 formula, because it is very notice and formal letter is very straightforward and very direct. Okay, so by joining this camp, people will experience living outdoors. Actually, this is given. Okay, learning new skills and also make new friends. Okay, if you look at the question just now, it has given us the information about what are the benefits that the participant will get from this camp. Okay, so actually I am taking the information from here. So this is the benefits. Okay, I'm putting this information into my body actually. All right. So like I said, don't have to worry. Remind our peoples that notice is not that difficult, because information is given. It's just that they have to change the format, okay, into the form of notice. Okay. Then we have the information about what are the benefits just now. Okay, learning new skills and also make new friends mentioned in the question. Then the activities provided are fishing, exploring jungles, and visiting Orang Asli village. Also given just now what are the activities that the participants will do throughout the camp. Then people who are interested to join the camp can contact Puan Tasnim binti Hamid, also mentioned in the poster about the closing date, okay, before 25th May 2020. So normally we teach our peoples to write in the form of 3 paragraphs, but in notice we will only need a paragraph for the body. Okay, then the name of the person who write. So the peoples have to write their own name. For example, Adam Hakimi and school prefect. So we assume that the peoples is the school prefect. All right. So any questions so far from the 4 formatted that I've shared just now? Do you have any question that you want to ask me? I assume the silence means you understand. All right. So let us move to our, sorry, what is it? Let me see the question here. The date, like I said, actually date, Madam Jaya, okay, the date, I have made a study about the notice. There are some notice who doesn't mention about the date given in the date of the notice, okay, posted. Okay, so actually we can accept the notice without the date actually. All right, so let us look at our next. Okay, how do you count the amount of words? Only the words in the, yeah, I assume that because so far we don't have any question for UPSR about the notice, but from my understanding that, of course, the body that matters. Okay, for the notice, the body is the most important part that we focus on. Okay, so of course, the number of words, I think, logically will based on the body itself. All right. All right, so if you do have a question, then I do have a question. 4 formats shared in our today's session? Anyone can answer me? What are the 4 formats that I shared just now in our today's session? Anyone can answer me? You can unmute your speaker if you want to answer.
May I?
Nobody wants to answer. Yeah.
Formal and informal letter,
Yeah.
notice, and also what was the other one?
The first one, remember? The sit 3 hours tired. What is
The
it?
speech, informal letter,
Speech.
formal letter, and notice.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. Okay, thank you so much for your response. Okay, so we have learned, we have not learned, actually it's sharing, more sharing. I've shared about speech, informal, formal, and also notice. So if you teachers notice that all the 4 formats haven't come out in our UPSR yet, okay, then what is anyone can answer what is the purpose of writing notice? Notice. Because we are going to tell our peoples what is the purpose of writing a notice.
To announce info for specific group of people.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. Good
To
answer.
announce information to the specific group of people. To
Yeah,
announce information.
yes, to announce important information to a specific targeted audience, right? Okay, thank you so much for your response. I appreciate it. Okay, then anyone remember what is the formula for writing speech?
Sit 3 hours tired.
Okay, what does 3 hours tired means?
Salute, salutation, introduce yourself, title for your speech, 3 points and 2 supporting details.
Yeah.
Hope in, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, teacher. Okay. Yeah, sit 3 hours. Sit 3 hours tired. So please remember that because I've already applied in my classroom. And so far, Alhamdulillah, most of them remembered it very well with the formula. Okay. Okay, so since Zahira asked me to share whatever things that I've done so far during the MCO period, so by the way, what I have done so far with my peoples, I'm not saying that I'm the best. Okay, I'm a good teacher, but it's just a sharing session. So that is what DC is all about, right? Okay, so my main two, how should I say? Okay, the 2 main common activities that I've done so far with my peoples. The first one is through the WhatsApp. Okay, if you look at this example, this is the group. Okay, I've already submitted. For example, I submitted a task, daily task to them. Then they will have to respond to my task, and we will just do the cross-checking who had done the activity given by me. Okay, so this is the example of the task. This is the response that I get from my people in the class after they have done my task. Okay, then of course we are teachers really encouraged to do our Google Classroom, right? So I also included some tasks in the Google Classroom. For example, you see, I put there paper exercise 2, whatever. Okay, percubaan UPSR Johor. Okay, so this is the homework that I've given them in the form of the Google Classroom. I personally really think that GC Google Classroom is very, very useful. Okay, because I do find that most people really enjoy the activity and also the task given in the Google Classroom. Okay, this is also example the classwork. Okay, all right, then this is okay, another form of question that I gave them is in the form of the Google form. So I'll just copy. Unluckily, I cannot do the Google form on my own because I'm busy preparing other things. Okay, so I just take the Google form exercises or tests. Then I just put there in my class so that they will answer the question, and of who had done the task. Okay. This is an okay. The last thing that I've done is the online class. Okay. For example, my first class, out of 40 people, normally 30 people will join this class. Okay. So I do make an online class using this Google Meet. So this is an example of my class. Okay, for example, so this is an example. So that is the so this is the example of my online class that I've done so far with my peoples. But since Ramadan, we have limited number of class. But before Ramadan, we do have daily class actually using the Google Meet. Okay, like we are having just now. We are having right now. Okay, so I think all of you can also use the Google Classroom as your method of teaching during this MCO. And also, I do believe that people's don't be surprised because based on my personal experience, one of my students who is very lazy to go to school, but he really enjoys class when we are doing the class in the Google Meet. I think these people are really enjoying learning using the gadgets, I think, instead of the actual classroom. It really surprised me actually because he was the one that I really sad because he hardly come to school, But during this MCO, he is the one who is the most active person in my Google Meet class. I think students will enjoy using the Google Meet because they are using the gadgets. Some of them are using the handphone or the tablet. Okay, so I do really encourage our friends here to please use the Google Meet and also the Google Classroom in order to proceed our teaching method. Okay, so I think that's all for today's sharing. Back to Cik Zahira.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Noraini, for the great sharing session. Okay, and the formula given. I think maybe teachers you can apply the methods, okay, shared with Cik Noraini with your students. Okay, and I will share with you the link for attendance and also the feedback form. All right. You can take a look at the chat box and also I will display it. Hold on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for those who are watching in the live stream, okay, you can simply scan the QR code or use the attendance link given there, okay, on the screen. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so please fill in the attendance link and also the feedback
Before
form.
leaving the channel,
Sorry?
they have to fill in the